In this video, we will talk about Arthur Zwane. We will also talk about Manqoba Mngqithi. These two coaches and their coaching of Kaizer Chiefs is a very interesting thing because there have been decisions that have been made, and I will talk about why these decisions sometimes they don't seem like they actually make any sense. Stick around to find out what is happening. Hello and welcome to Kosi Nation Fan TV. I am Bilo. I am your host. This is where kids play basketball, but this is where fans meet and talk about Kaizer Chiefs. Amakosi Football Club. They also play netball. Now, last week we had a lot of things about how Chiefs management were having a meeting to decide on Arthur Zwane'S future. It turns out they did actually have a meeting, and it wasn't just an agenda that was being pushed by people, but there was actually a meeting between Kaizer Chiefs management and Arthur Zwane. Some people have said that it was just a meeting where Zwane was submitting his list for the players that he wants for next season. But no, it was also about how he ended the season, because at the end of the day, as a manager, as a coach, you must account to the board, you must account to everyone who is there and say, tell us what is actually happening right now. Why did the team finish the league by losing 4 games in a row? So that is what happened. And this is the result. 2-2-2-2. A lot of you may not like this, but Zwane apparently has the full support of the entire management. Everyone wants to see Zwane continuing to coach the club. However, there is a twist. Of course, there is a twist. And this is where it gets interesting. If you haven't liked the video, by the way, please do make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel to make sure that you get more content like this for Kaizer Chiefs. The twist is this. Kaizer Chiefs want Zwane to hit the ground running this upcoming season. You see now where I'm going with this. Because here's the thing. Zwane is not fired, although they were not happy with how the season ended, right? But they want him to start the season on an exponential winning rate so that he can appease the fans who are not so happy, right? Because obviously the management would have thought Tuguti, the fans are now very angry to a point that they are getting to a point where they are throwing things at him. They want to beat him up. So then they are saying you must start the next season on a very high note and make sure that the fans are pleased and start winning games. We're starting with Cape Town City and the MTN 8. Possibility to might get knocked out. So let's just say that happens. We play the first game against Sekhukhune. We know Sekhukhune are very difficult to play against. We lose against Sekhukhune. Let's say just like last season, then the next game is probably Sundowns. Play against Sundowns, we lose. So what's going to happen? They're going to fire Zwane after losing 3 games of the season and then look for a new coach. You get where I'm going with this? If you are already doubting the coach that you have and you are saying us keeping you is contingent on the fact that you start the season well, then the question that I have, as much as I'm not saying I want Zwane to be fired, I'm saying if you are planning to fire the coach by the end of the year, in any case, why not change his position right now so that the new coach who's coming in, whoever that you are thinking about as a replacement, can start with the team and have a preseason now? Because then what's going to happen is that, let's just say we appoint Papovic from Serbia. And then he comes in, he already has a squad that has been selected for him by Zwane, and now he has a different style of playing. Turns out he doesn't need creative players because now all he needs, he's a technically gifted right back who's going to play across, and also needs a very tall striker who's going to head those goals in. I'm making an example, Yoguti. All of a sudden, you are changing a coach halfway through the season, not even halfway through the season, beginning of the season, but there's a coach who has already decided on the players that he wanted to be in the team, and now all of a sudden, things are all over the place, and then the team is now in a situation where we're like, oh, we are building again with another coach. So to me, it's like, yes, I don't want Zwane to be fired, but if you are going to say, Zwane must hit the ground running, I want that. But to me, what it seems like Zwane might get fired depending on how he starts the following season. That's the point of this whole video. Well, not necessarily, but it seems like that. And if that's the point, then I feel like Chiefs will be kind of shooting themselves in the foot if they don't decide to go to, you know what, we're not sure Zwane can hit the ground running. As such, let's just bring in the coach and maybe do a co-coaching situation. I don't like it, by the way. But if we have a co-coaching situation, then we know good. If Zwane fails to hit the ground running as the senior coach, then we change him and we put the other coach. Just like what Sundowns did. They already had 3 coaches, but then when they saw that the other 2 coaches were not performing, then they replaced the coaches and brought on Urulani to be the one who's ruling over them. But if you're going to bring in a new person altogether, then you are messing up with the whole system, and then that basically means you didn't think these things through. Speaking of things that are not thought through or things that are thought through, let's talk about Mngqithi, because we know that Mngqithi has been linked with the Chiefs, and there are talks ukuthi the Chiefs are looking at him and monitoring the situation yakhe and thinking ukuthi how are we going to approach indaba Mngqithi. And now I'm also questioning ukuthi, okay, if Mngqithi is being monitored by Chiefs, what are they actually monitoring? Because if they are monitoring him, that means they want to replace Zwane. But also at the same time, Zwane has full confidence of the management, which means someone is lying to me. There's a possibility that Mngqithi is not being monitored at all. It's just Twitter speaking, and my publications are now feeding off of that and saying Mngqithi is wanted by Chiefs. Because if the Chiefs truly wants Mngqithi, he's in his last month, starting with June. At the end of June, his contract ends with Sundowns. And yes, there are talks of good even before, when his contract expired with Sundowns. They waited until the last month and then they negotiated how he plans to extend his contract and blah, blah, blah. So these things are all over the place. But as it stands, Velu Mngqithi would be a front runner to take over the Kaizer Chiefs job. But at this point, I'm also asking myself, Fuguti, will Mngqithi actually come to Chiefs in September after Zwane already started the season and failed, God forbid? Because I would think for a coach like him who would say, you know what, I was free, you knew good my contract was ending. You could have just approached me, Uguti, when your contract ends, come work for us. I don't see how any of this makes sense. So I hope Uguti Chiefs are actually calculating all these decisions, because as I said, as much as I would not want Chiefs to fire Zwane, but if they are planning to do it in any case, they might as well plan the whole situation right now so that they don't have to reshuffle things mid-season. What do you think about this? Let me know down in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, remember, equals Alpelumoya.